for many years, the continent has been left behind by the rest of the world. But I think we have the opportunity of catching up through digital transformation. And we can see that happening slowly, beginning with innovations such as M-Pesa and other forms of banking systems that enable our people to freely move their money around the region. And of course, this has to be accompanied also by the infrastructure that is required to carry out the business and the trade. So yes, digital transformation is important, but definitely we are not in a very, very good place right now, because as far as we may advance very fast digitally, but physically also we need to have the roads, the railways, the airports to be able to do the kind of business we need. Africa accounts for only 3% of world trade. That's extremely low. And then intra-COMESA trade is very low also. So you ask yourself why. So I think the reason, of course, there is that colonial past where all the infrastructure and everything else was going to the colonial powers. But it is organizations such as COMESA that is now bringing us together to break down the borders, to be able for us to work together. So definitely, one of the ways, and I think we are making great strides, and I've seen the great country of Ethiopia also making great strides, both in digital infrastructure and also physical infrastructure. You can see the way Addis has been transformed. Now the collaboration that is now taking place between, for example, Kenya and Ethiopia in things like M-Pesa, and other Kenyan banks are moving in there also. This is the right direction for Africa, because if we do that, in a few years, we shall see a massive change. Movement of our people is also important. Having the colonial borders that have existed for long does not help us. And being confined to small countries, we are not viable, or having a smaller market. But if we are all together, Africa can be a force to reckon with. And I think one of the advantages we have in Africa, of course, the resources are available. Other countries have come here to exploit, and we have not had the knowledge and the means of ensuring that we benefit from our resources, especially the minerals and so on. But you can see, even give a perfect example, I was so proud to see the Guard being launched in Ethiopia by your Prime Minister. 5,000 megawatts of power. This will power Africa. And that should happen also in the Congo. It should happen everywhere, so that energy is available, the roads are available, the railways are there working, and people of Africa can move from east to south, from south to north, and mix and really make this great continent work properly. Instead of having roads that connect borders, we have roads perhaps that are good only within the country. So we should deliberately have highways that cross borders, so that goods can move freely. That way trade will be, the cost of doing business will be cheaper, investments will flow in. And then of course, we have very unnecessary restrictions. One is the visa, for example. The visa regimes that we have are really colonial relics. Secondly, of course, we have not really had a very good master plan for the whole of Africa to build railways. We dream about what the African Union is talking about, Vision 2063. We need to have dreams like those, that in 50 years, we should be able, in the next, it's now 2025, so it's already less than 50 years. You should be able to board a train in Cairo and end up in Cape Town, maybe within a day or two. But as it is impossible. Even with airports, you still have to fly sometimes to Europe to be able to connect back to Africa, and the cost is so high. So all these things need to come down, so that Africans can trade, they can mingle, they can have a cultural experience also, knowing the different cultures of Africa. And this is how Africa will become a great continent.